Nice.
Hey
Excellent.
Brandon, how are you doing?
Excellent. How are you, Emerson?
I'm excellent too. Happy
Good.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Uh,
you too.
whereabouts are you?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh, nice. So tell me
Yeah.
your story and what got you here.
Okay, cool. This is awesome. Um, okay. I feel like I've been seeking really, really hard for me. The past 5 years especially. It's all I can really think about mostly.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
know
it,
that
it's
feeling.
yeah, there's a lot of passion, but it's also sometimes like overwhelming.
Yeah.
So basically, I kind of fell into this stuff. I've always been kind of interested in existential things since I was a kid. Um, and when I was maybe 12 years ago or so, I started trying psychedelics. And that was a big thing for me because I kind of went like really gung ho into that. Like I did a lot of tripping for about 10 years.
Fun.
And I just loved it. Yeah, yeah. I tried all kinds of things. Um, I started to get into like kind of like analogs of different psychedelics like LSD and mushrooms and stuff like that. Because I don't know, doing psychedelics, I got really into it, very interested in it, and then that kind of got me more interested in like neurology and psychology, and then that like strand kind of just kept getting pulled until I kind of got into non-duality eventually. um, because I don't know, I feel like I had just some glimpses that um, really just like totally changed everything for me. I remember I was going, so I have I grew up with some mental health problems like depression, anxiety. I was recently diagnosed with OCD, which I never was diagnosed with, and it's actually really great now to kind of work on that for me. Yeah, and ADHD as well. So basically, I got married a little over 5 years ago, and that put a lot of like everything was good, everything
Yeah.
in my life, but it put a lot of I couldn't. It put a lot of self negative thoughts in my head because I wasn't always doing everything I thought right or perfect because I wanted to
Yeah.
be perfect. So that made me start to seek more and more because I felt really depressed. I was in a really dark place, and then yeah, I was into all like Alan Watts was probably one of my first guys that I was really into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
LOS is cool.
yeah, I like him. I like his
Yeah.
style. And then I read The Power of Now. I started reading books, and then I had this when I started to like actually like it started with me just like wanting to actually figure out deep questions, and it
Okay.
wasn't that yeah, it wasn't even like I didn't take the route of spirituality. Like I was kind of scientifically minded at the
Yeah.
time, but then like I kind of kept bashing my head against the wall so many times with trying to do that
Yeah.
I ended up kind of like somehow buying into the possibility of spiritual enlightenment because I was kind
Okay.
of there's this desperation. And then I also had, maybe this kind of deluded thought that like, hey, maybe this is possible for me because I've taken psychedelics like hundreds of times. Like maybe something's different for my brain because it's
Yeah.
a different scenario or something. So I had this one thought that like kind of like ended up unraveling me that was just like what do I know about myself um that isn't in relation to something else.
Mm,
It's like
yeah.
how like what can I say about myself, what can I think about myself that can be known without relation to anything. And then that just like kind of like made me start feeling like I just don't know anything at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like nowadays I'm kind of just in this like kind of like very uncertain sort of, and that's the thing is like OCD is all about certainty. So I feel like
Yeah.
as my peaking started to go up, it started like inflaming my OCD, and it was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to
Yeah.
get. And lately I've been feeling like the message that, or the message, but like what you've been kind of doing. I had these little tiny like insights that it's like, wait a minute, like enlightenment is kind of like it's taking me in the wrong direction. Like this not enlightenment, but what I think it is, what I'm
Yeah.
chasing is taking me in the wrong direction, and been trying to kind of let go of all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Who else have you listened to?
I listen to a lot of actualize.org, Leo Gura.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also I love Dallin Watts. I've listened to a little bit of like Muji in the past, Rupert Spira, Angelo, literally like a lot of people. Anything that popped up, I would, because like I've spent over the past 5 years, I've probably watched every single day an hour or two of content, if not more. Like I'll listen to it on my way to work and back. I'll
Yeah,
put it in
wow.
my ears when I'm doing dishes or whatever. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like to like not just listen to that while I'm just doing shit. Like I want to actually listen to it, but like if that's still an outlet where I can put it in my ear, like I'll put it there. You know what I mean? So I always have some wisdom trickling in my brain.
Yeah. Someone keeps on sending me screenshots of posts from actualize.org mentioning me over
Really
theirs. Yeah.
interesting. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually looked on there. I like him a lot, but I think that everyone's different, and I don't think that I don't put anyone on a pedestal, and but I like his style. There's something the way he talks.
Yeah.
He's also went to school for engineering, and I'm a programmer and machinist, so I feel like we just have a similar kind of maybe
Okay.
brain,
Yeah.
or so
Not
his delivery.
particularly him, people that are on the forum basically saying, what was that
Yeah,
one? One person said, um basically recommended me and then they're seeking. So at this moment, Brandon,
yeah.
yeah, what do you believe at this very moment? Just right now. What do you believe?
I don't know. Like, do you mean like right in this moment?
Yeah, yeah.
Like in this moment, there's no beliefs because it's like a moment.
Yeah, but who believes that there's no belief?
Um, Nobody. I mean, it's not.
So it's like a belief believing a belief then, right?
Yeah. Like when I think about the moment, if I think about it,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's just like colors and sounds and shapes and
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So if the eye is a belief believing in color, shapes, and sound,
yeah,
what's in between belief and non-belief then?
just this present moment.
Well, who believes that present moment then? If you can go to the past or the future,
Mhm,
right? Then even the idea of present moment is derived from something that you heard from the past, right? So
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So then,
So it's between belief and non-belief if you can't go
mhm,
to the past or the future.
yeah. So then it's unspeakable.
Yeah. So if it's unspeakable, if you can go to the past or the future, then where's the you?
Yeah. There's no you present.
Yeah. So it's just a belief, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
between you and no you. Because usually a you and a seeking to enlightenment wants to lose the you or the me or the self. So what's in
Right.
between that? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's between the self and the no self?
It's unspeakable.
Yeah. So if it's unspeakable, is there anything missing?
No.
No. Okay. So is there any thoughts? If you can go to the past or the future, if you can go to the next, is there any
No.
thoughts? No. Yeah. All right.
So does that mean there's never any thoughts?
Well, the thought is just a thought if you look at it.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. So between thoughts and no thoughts, what's there? Yeah.
Yeah. Like avoid, I feel like is a good word.
It is like the abyss, right? Kind of
Right.
like Nietzsche, right? If you stare in long enough at the abyss stares back at you.
Yeah, but I never really understood that. And I feel like
I don't, to be honest. So
yeah, 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 yeah.
I just like
but
the
but
word.
that's but
I
that's the
was
point to it that I want to
I
understand, you
was
know?
talking I was talking to an artist that I do one-on-one with, right? And
Yeah,
he's obsessed with the abyss right now, and and he's got the
yeah.
song. Anyway, yeah. So
Oh,
there's
oh, my
this.
wife loves that Radiohead song that you love so
Oh
much.
yeah,
My
yeah.
favorite Radiohead song.
Oh,
Everything was right
you
by it.
should get the extended version of that album. It's
Oh
so
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Oh, I'll check that
Someone
out.
someone that was listening to me for quite a while and um got out of a community situation where there was like an oppressive leader
Yeah,
and talked to him for free for like maybe about 3 months, and then he came into he was trying to pay me. I'm like, don't worry, man, don't worry, man. I know you're just trying to get back, with your life because you
yeah,
gave all your
yeah.
money to your guru, basically, right? So I don't want to be that.
Right.
He sent me a vinyl player,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I know it's the coolest gift because that's I'm a DJ, right? So
Yeah,
like
right, yeah,
and then he included a Radiohead album in it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so that's why.
That's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah,
collect records. Yeah,
yeah. So if again going back into that into that abyss, into that
yeah.
that void.
Hmm.
So what are you seeking for if there's no next?
Right, and who's seeking?
Yeah. And again, it's a word seeking for a word. If you look at words, even if you just really look directly, right? Because the mind, the self, the character goes from here to here, A to B, A to B.
Yeah.
Enlightenment is A to B, right? But what if you crash into the middle and say, um, well, A to B doesn't exist because it's
Hmm.
just a thought looking for a thought.
Right, right.
Yeah. So what are you looking for then, Brandon?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just a thought, isn't it?
yeah.
And even all the words, the fancy words, the abyss, Friedrich Nietzsche is just all thoughts.
Yeah,
So if it's all
right.
thoughts,
Mhm.
then thought or no thought, it doesn't really matter, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah,
Destination doesn't really exist. It's just a
right.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything in its right place.
right.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's interesting.
It's almost like an intoxication to figure something out.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So if there's this void, what's there to
Hmm.
figure out? It's all the void.
Hmm.
We just almost kind of like imagining things, basically. When you look at a color, you're calling it color because you learn that it's color. You're
Hmm.
looking at a chair, it's a chair because someone said that's a chair.
Hmm.
But if you take away all the words, and then the one that
Right.
is the root word, basically the root illusion is I, you.
Hmm.
So once you figure that out, that the I, the you, the me, the self, and everything is nothing but an illusion that strengthens by believing in another belief. So I believe that there's enlightenment.
Hmm.
So it's blah, 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 blah. If you really look at it, it's like a bird chirping.
Hmm. Hmm. Right.
Yeah. So if there's,
Which is just happening.
yeah, it's just happening. Yeah. But that's just another words, right? We can't
Yeah.
really say it, to be honest with you.
Right.
There's something here that can't be said. It's like air. It's always here, right?
Right. Right.
And then some people call it awareness, consciousness, but by naming it, it
Yeah.
defeats the purpose that it is completely nameless. It's almost very anticlimactic. You're kind of like, because looking for the reward of knowing.
Yeah, and I've had little glimpses of understanding this in
Yeah.
like having a moment, even while listening to you with the one-on-ones. Um,
Yeah.
and also just in the past, just random little moments. And also sometimes I can just like kind of be doing something like working with my hands, and then I can just
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it might
That's
last
what
for
it
a few
is. Yeah.
seconds.
So
Yeah,
it's almost like there's two alternate realities, right? The reality that you think about,
right,
and then there's this, we can't even call it reality because we can't think about it, but it's always here.
right.
So that
Yeah,
that thinking supersedes, you know what I'm saying, anything that is pristine, unthinkable, because we think that we know it. So like what
right.
you're saying, I have a feeling I don't know anything. We don't know
Yeah,
anything.
right.
Yeah. But what's
Yeah,
really
because I
knowing?
know that like all human knowledge is like kind of like based off of our little perspectives, and
Exactly.
it's all survival oriented in a lot of ways. So it's not about truth; it's about being practical. I feel
It
like, you
is.
know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So there's practical thoughts, and that's probably what the evolution of thoughts are, right? If
Yeah,
I
right,
if
right.
I eat that fruit, I'm gonna die. You know, that's a
Yeah,
poisonous
yeah.
thing, right?
That's
Or
practical. Yeah,
yeah, it's practical, right? Or if I turn left, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, I don't have to, encounter any snakes or whatever.
right. Now, do you
Yeah.
still have thoughts like that?
There's practical thoughts, yeah, but for about 6 years, you know what? I'm even really forgetful now.
Yeah,
I thought I had like an
I
early
can resonate
dementia.
with that myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I'm not caught up in the thoughts anymore, really. Or even if
yeah,
thoughts, you know, well, honestly, right? Like in the morning, like for example, today, no thoughts, just got up, it's just kind of like a body moving, like my dog, and we're walking, playing ball, smiling,
yeah, yeah,
it's kind of like calling my dog, Ella Bella, come here, that kind of thing, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, and
But do
but
you feel
yeah,
like you're thinking it, or is it just kind of
no,
happening?
no, no, even right now, right? It's
Yeah,
like I call it the in-between directness or whatever. It's just a name. There's no name for it. Um, it's kind of like, when this clicked for me when I was just really DJing,
yeah,
which is what I love. I've been DJing ever since I was a little kid, right? So
yeah,
um so it's something just clicked. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't find Emerson.
yeah.
It's just a thought. There's no reality to Emerson.
Yeah,
Even
that was actually my first big glimpse. Actually, that changed a lot and made me think a lot. Is I took a LSD analog, and this particular one is very lucid in the mind,
yeah,
but very visual.
yeah,
And it's weird because I don't really trip anymore now that much. I'm just kind of like
yeah,
focusing on this stuff. But this stuff, like everything was moving, and all part of myself that I would know as myself, like my hands and everything was moving, except my awareness was not moving at all.
yeah,
So, and then I sat on the couch and I felt like I was just watching a movie of myself. Like
yeah,
everything I was saying, everything I was doing,
yeah,
there was nobody there, and it was profound. I've never experienced
yeah.
anything like that.
Let's even
So,
collapse that a little bit more. There's not
okay,
even a witness or awareness.
right, because I was searching for it, and that's what got me out of that headspace.
That's right.
Or
Yeah. There's not
headspace.
even awareness.
Yeah,
So there's almost kind of like there's this there's this silence, directness, flow, whatever you might want to call it, Tao,
yeah, hmm,
nothing, emptiness. And then the thought is almost like it's behind or it's
hmm,
ahead. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or oh no, behind is trying to catch up to this thing, right? So it's trying to narrate
Right, 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 right.
what this is, right?
They're
So
trying to explain it.
but when it goes into the directness, then the thought's kind of like, oh, wait a second. That's not me.
Yes, it's an
There's
illusion.
neither
That
a
makes
me or
sense.
a no me.
Yeah,
And even the seeking is actually very, very um it's almost like an agenda of the self, right?
yeah,
Because the
yeah.
self wants to figure itself out by
Right,
itself,
right.
or the
Yeah,
self wants to see itself diminish or disappear, wants
yeah.
to witness its own death. No one's going to witness their own death.
Right, right.
You're not going to see any me dissolve and everything. But if you see, if you go between me and no me, if you
Yeah,
really go directly to it, what's there?
just this.
Yeah.
But I'm just using that as a
Yeah, what's between this and
pointer
not
to
this?
this.
Yeah. You can't point to this even. What's
Yeah,
between this and not this?
right. It's the world where thoughts aren't allowed.
Yeah, it's like there's this pristine, like a virgin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That thoughts has never been able to go there. And it's
right. And
always
thoughts
here
can't
because
even touch it. They
it
can't even
can't touch
scratch
it.
it. Yeah,
Nope,
they
no,
can't do anything to it.
ideas can't land it, you know what I'm saying? So calling it awareness is a bit of a
Yeah,
misnomer. It's or calling it nothing, you
right.
know what
And
I'm
I was
saying?
stuck in that consciousness, everything's
Yeah,
consciousness.
yeah.
I think that's not a terrible word if you're not going to get attached to it, but it's like if
I
you're
think
trying to
it's
talk about it,
for me it was terrible because I was trying to find the
yeah,
seat of consciousness. I was trying to abide in awareness. I was trying to
right,
be aware of awareness. But who's aware of awareness again? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um,
right.
and then I got stuck with nothing being everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is nothing being everything. It's almost like
It's like you
you,
could say these words to someone else who already gets it.
yeah,
So you're just kind of like shooting a shit about what
yeah,
you're both experiencing. But if you say to
yeah.
somebody who doesn't get it, that's
It's
crap.
like like if somebody hasn't tasted steak before, you
Yeah,
can
right.
say it's this and that. Like you're talking to a vegan. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and if anything, you might be throwing their expectations off.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Or
Yeah,
or or someone that's never had an orgasm. You know what I'm saying? You're
right.
trying
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
this and that, and it's just words and it becomes a belief system.
Right.
Because if a person really is and this might, I don't want to put anyone down, because they're
Mhm.
all great people. But if they
Mhm.
really know what they're talking about, then they would shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. But I don't think they do a lot of them. I
yeah.
think that's kind of like a half-baked sort of
It
like
is.
like they get it to a certain level, but it's not
Yeah.
there all the way yet or something.
Yeah, because you know what, you can have a glimpse and you're like, oh my goodness, this is awareness. This is
No, but I
God.
fell into that trap too. I wanted to tell everyone about it. I made like a Facebook page and
Oh, did
stuff,
you?
like a spiritual Facebook page. Like I was trying to help people.
But you keep on going back and trying to maintain it, right? Because you think that you found it. That's what it is, that you got
Yes,
to it. And
right.
then, of course, after you posted that, right? Shortly, probably after, you're like, fuck, I lost it.
Yeah, yeah. And then I deleted it eventually, and I deleted my Facebook, and I was like,
Because I had that, like, what do you call it? Pre-ejaculation kind of like thing, and I
yeah,
was like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
you're going around telling everyone
like a
about the
wet dream,
orgasm.
basically,
Yeah,
and you're like, oh my goodness, yeah, you know
yeah,
what? And I saw everything. I saw God and everyone, that kind of thing, right? It's like
right.
and then of course I started meditating. Well, I was meditating before I increased it. I'm like, now I'm a holy man. Now I'm enlightened.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I should now I
right. Well,
can't.
it feels special because
It
nobody's talking
does.
about this stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So that reinforces it, I feel like. Or at least nobody is around me, like, other than on the internet or in certain
yeah,
circles.
yeah, yeah. And then
So
you want to tell the world when this
yeah,
actually
yeah.
just basically clicks that there's nothing to click. I don't know if that
There's
makes
nothing to
sense.
tell.
I
Yeah.
was like,
There's nothing to click. That's the
I was
that's
like,
a great
I
way to put it.
guess I don't have, it's really humbling. It's like, I'm like, oh, wow, this is what have been, it's anticlimactic, right? It's kind of like
Yeah,
right now, I love this conversation because it's very ordinary. It's not like, like
yeah, yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the air
yeah.
has always been here. You're like, yeah, yeah, the air is here. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But I just want peace. I don't care about anything extraordinary.
But
That was part of what helped. That's part of what started my seeking too. There was a lot of different things, but like one of them is I just got so sick of the up and down of everything. Like I didn't even care about just going to like a party anymore or whatever,
yeah,
because I'm just like it's just gonna come back down, and then I'm gonna want
yeah.
to go back up, and then
But what
I
if
just
there's,
kind of
but Brandon, what if there's no next?
right.
It's just another belief that there's a next coming.
Yeah, yeah,
So if there's no next and if there's no past, then this
yeah.
must be the peace that you're looking for. It just doesn't, com-
Right,
compute in your head that it's peace because it has nothing to do with your mind.
right. With nothing to do with what? I'm sorry.
With your mind,
With my okay, yeah,
not even your experience. You know what I'm saying? It's so
yeah. You're right.
direct.
Yeah.
It's so direct that it all encompasses everything. So whatever seems to appear is peace. You just
Mhm.
kind of like what they say, a peace that passes all understanding. You just
Yeah, I
have
like
a
that.
you just have a you just have an understanding of what it should be. So when it's
Right.
right smack right here, You're like,
Right.
well, when is it going to come? It's right here already.
Right.
Everything in its right place already.
Yeah, and all the all the thinking and the trying to figure it out is just
Yeah. But you just,
arrogance and
yeah, it is.
like I have like some theory that is a good jumping off point for me to start figure things out with. Like where do you even start? Like where's the truth to start from? That's like a grounds that you can
Yeah.
start building your theory of what's right and wrong from.
Yeah. But that's just another sandcastle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And like this type of stuff just kind of is like the water washing it away.
That's right. Yeah. And that's what, everybody that has ever come up with an absolute statement about this is they're building sandcastle. They keep on defending it,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's or some people have to be aware of it because it doesn't exist.
Right.
Or they'll people talk about energy and contracted energy. That's just another thing. That's just another belief.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think like from the get go too, when I started that, I mean, like I would say I was like seeking pretty hardcore for the past 5 years, but I was into Alan Watts and like learning about this stuff for over 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like culminated into something over time. But yeah, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I don't know. My
Well, in
thought
the
just went away.
in the expression of this, right?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna figure out that all the words are just made up. It's already been figured out that all the words are made up. And then you
Right.
realize that every speaker, every teacher, everyone out there is saying basically just BS, including me. You know what I'm saying? If you listen
Right.
to all of my stuff and everything, right? But there's
Yeah.
an admission here that there's something that I can't touch. And that's
Right.
what I usually am like, okay, Brandon, if you're going between this
Exactly.
and that, you know
Yeah.
what? It's not like I'm passing an information to you. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna like I went there and then I never came back. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is basically, right? Because there's this idea that you can get this,
Yeah.
but getting this has nothing to do with you or losing the you, because it's in time. What
Yeah,
talking
and I feel
about
like
here
poetically
is
speaking, at least, I am this.
no, but that's just anything that's been passed on, anything that you've heard from someone. It's just, even what you heard from me, you know what I'm saying? It's just really just goobly gook, it's just it's just it's just blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And even in all those Q&As and all those books and everything, right?
Right,
It's the word is the veil.
right.
But
Yeah,
the word veil is just the word. So there's really no
it's just a
veil.
word.
It's just a
So
word.
there is no veil.
There's no veil, yeah. If you're looking at this without thoughts, what are you looking at?
There's no looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking is a thought and an idea.
That's right. Yeah,
There's no looking. I can't experience that I'm looking
exactly. Yeah.
ever. I
So
never have.
everything is basically, if you look at it, the veil
Yeah,
is like that. It's in between reality and illusion.
right,
It's right here.
right.
We can say it, we can't know it, we can't feel it, but it's between reality and illusion. The void is this. This is what you've been looking for, but not you looking. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense,
Right.
right? Because it's always here.
Yeah, and if that's the truth, then looking is going to be the biggest obstacle.
Exactly. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because who's looking and was it looking for? And then even the saying a looking is already illusory because there's a subject object. What's between subject and object?
yeah.
What's between time and the infinity?
When you say that, it just silences my mind. But is that what it's meant to do? I guess I
It,
get like curious about what the meaning behind that the formulation of those words there are.
well, go there, saying see where your mind goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I do, it does quiet my mind, and I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It just
I guess
wipes it clean, right?
wanting to know why is part of the the
Well,
thinking,
again,
the seeking.
the question is just, there's no question because it just leads to an illusory answer.
True.
Yeah. There's no questions and answer because there's no need. Because if you look at it, the thought is just coming up with more thoughts. So the I, the you, the me, the self is a thought. And it's you know, it's like incognito behind another thought. So you think that I am thinking this or I'm looking. Even saying looking, you're like, automatically there's an I there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this has got to click for it to be embodied.
That's just another thought. So you're trying to go to the next.
Yeah.
If you can go to the next, you can go to the past, then there's something here that you can't say.
Yeah, because I'm not doing anything right now. I'm not like
No.
sitting and meditating and like
No. No. But there's a calmness, you know what I'm saying? If it's in between acceptance and rejection, what's there?
Right. It's like a neutrality.
It is, yeah.
That's like what I think of when you say that. Like, and then that neutrality is like absolute neutrality in a sense is nothing.
Yeah.
It's void.
It's void. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a negation, you know, because you
Right.
know, it's because you know, one side of the non-dualities, it's everything, you know, it's all
Because the
awareness,
mind
right?
is so binary, it might be like, oh, it's like it's not nothing. Then it's like, oh, then it must be something. Well, it's not
Yeah.
something. It must be nothing.
So
Yeah.
people that get frustrated with the it's everything is God, everything is awareness, everything is consciousness, negates it now. There's no consciousness, there's no awareness, there's no mind, there's no self, there's no me. But both are, what you said, are binary, kind of like, you know, play ones and zeros, right? It's still
Mhm.
dualistic. Even
Mhm.
saying a word about this is already, you know,
Something.
yeah,
If you believe it, if you
you
believe the
believe
word.
it, yeah. But there's almost
Otherwise,
an
it's just
automatic belief,
gobbledygook.
like for example, what color is my wall?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
right away you believe it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even
Right.
have to try, right? It's automatic.
Yeah, yeah, but also what my mind does too sometimes is it will like have more thoughts that it's like, oh, but then it's like, but it's not blue because blah 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 blah. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I'll
yeah.
kind of like philosophize in my head with thoughts
Well,
about how
if
it's
you
not really blue.
if you go there to cut it right away, it's between blue and not blue.
Right.
Mm.
Exactly. Because I don't want to go there. It's tiring. My mind's got
Nope.
this like monkey
No, no,
mind about.
no, no, no. Yeah, that's just a thought again. If you can talk about the past, that's not even true.
Hmm.
Mhm. Don't worry, I've had a lot of OCD people that I've talked to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It seems sort of related for my story at least. It's just like,
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
you
Seeking is
know,
an OCD's, you know, dream nightmare.
yes, it's been a nightmare. I'm doing a lot better now, luckily, but I was very, very, very depressed for a while.
Oh yeah, yeah. This can get really depressing, to be honest, right? Because there's really
Yeah,
nothing to figure out. And
especially because
um,
everything else was going good. My wife is amazing. My job's going good. Like everything's going good on the outside.
yeah.
For me, I mean, like I don't need
Isn't it
everything.
funny that people that are suffering, their lives are great?
Yeah, it's so ironic.
Because they're looking for something that's not
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, again, at this moment, if you don't have any beliefs, what are you looking for?
exactly.
Yeah.
That was like one of the number one things I did when I started my spiritual practices was really deconstructing my beliefs. And
Yeah.
I knew that that had to be done
Yeah.
just intuitively or somehow knew that that's what was the first important thing for me to do. But then now, like when I'm not now, but I still have these really sneaky little subtle beliefs
Yeah.
leading up to today at least.
Again, you know what? If you can even let go of that, like if you can go to the positive feature, what do you have? The mind will keep on coming up with stories and everything, right? Sorry for interrupting,
No,
right?
that's okay. Yeah,
Because that's how it goes, right? So it creates another reality that, oh, I can't do this because I have this and that,
right.
you know,
That's
or you
all in my
know,
head.
it's yeah,
In
yeah,
my head's in my head.
yeah,
And not.
yeah. Because you know what, you keep on going there, you know what I'm saying, but you keep on going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? So
Yeah.
it's almost like a squirmy worm, you know what I'm saying? That,
Yeah.
that there's like a flashlight,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. It's not, it's not you. It's
Right.
not you, right? So again, in this moment, if there's no past or future, what do you believe? If there's no such thing as linear, because that's just a thought.
Mm.
Yeah. Directly, what do
Mm-hmm.
you believe? Yeah. So directly, because the you can only really exist in the past and the future.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that believer?
Right. Just an idea.
Yeah. Okay, stick there. If it's just an idea, then everything must be an idea.
Yeah, because it all hinges on it.
Yeah. So the singular idea of you keeps on coming up with ideas like a fractal.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you look at it directly, completely, and what's an idea really?
It's kind of like a hunch.
Yeah, but
Or
but but even that, you know what I'm saying, is just
yeah.
deriving from the past, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's not in the present, right? Or it's not in the directness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
directly, what is a hunch? What's an idea?
It's a mystery. I don't know. I don't even
Well,
know
that's
if it
just
exists.
another.
That's
That's
yeah,
just a
yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't
Okay.
know.
So who knows that they don't know?
I don't know.
It's just an idea, isn't it? An idea is just an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be more direct, idea is just a word.
Yeah.
And if you look at a word, aren't all words made up?
Yeah. Yeah. Entirely. And by who?
Yeah. There you go. So
I guess a
everything is
part of it.
so
Yeah.
everything is like a one and zero, right?
Yeah. What's in
So when you
between?
start thinking about the past, it goes to one and the future goes to zero. But what's in
Right.
between? What's in the analog?
Right. Right.
Yeah, you're going digital, like simulation, simulation, simulation,
Yeah.
simulation. Yeah.
Right.
And that's what the mind goes, back and forth, back and forth,
Sort
back
of
and
like
forth.
unmanifest in a sense, even though it's just a word.
Yeah.
Because it's not. It's not. It doesn't become.
There's a design to it. It goes from A to B, A to B, but there's a loophole because there's no
Yeah.
A to B. The A to B is the
Mhm.
illusion,
Mhm.
right? So if you go in between, the A to B doesn't exist. A and B doesn't
Mhm.
exist. That's where the thoughts can come in. And that's it
Yeah.
is. That's simple. And there's a piece. If you can't, if you what's in between A and A to B,
Mhm.
then you're forced to see directly, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're forced to see
Without.
directly,
Yeah.
then what's A to B, where is it?
There. It's just an idea. It's
Yeah,
like it's just yeah.
yeah. And what's an
A to B
idea?
idea. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. So if you
Yeah.
don't know if there is there any problem with this moment, and there's almost kind of like a relaxation when there's nothing that needs to be known.
Yeah.
There's almost like a surrender.
I
Like
guess part of some a thought that's coming up.
okay, that's going to the past, future again.
Yeah. True.
You're here, what I'm saying, but you're trying to
Yeah.
fuck it up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Don't go
Or
to
it's
the
a worry though that like,
no, no,
what if I
no, no,
can't
no.
function like this?
It's always like this, Brandon.
Yeah. 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 You're right though. I know that. I think it's my
Yeah,
ego saying
I
that.
I I, I even caught it before you said it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's trying to go to the future again, right? It's
You
kind of like
did. You did. I did.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
If you can go to the
I'm not
past or
saying.
the future, then
Yeah.
what's missing?
Nothing. It's
Yeah,
complete.
yeah,
There's nothing to add. There's nothing to say about it.
yeah. There you go. And it's almost like a speechlessness, right? The mind will try to come, but the past, the future, but it's irrelevant. It's
Yeah, and like
irrelevant.
yeah, and from this perspective or from this place, like objections coming up seem kind of futile
Yeah.
because it's
Objections
like
are just
yeah,
words. They're just ideas. You're hearing the no idea. You know what I'm saying? You can't even say what it is here. But you're not used to it. It's just you're squirming. You're like, no, that's not my OCD thing. You know, I need to know. No. You know what I'm
And
saying?
even that's an idea.
That's just an idea too. Yeah, that's the past, right?
Yeah.
I have people that
Yeah.
have actually had agoraphobia, some
Yeah.
OCD, some anxiety, that
Yeah.
report back to me and they're like, I don't have it anymore, Emerson. Should I go see
Yeah.
my doctor? I'm like, go see your doctor still. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
you know.
yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Right, because it's OC's all thoughts. So
It's all thoughts. Yeah.
yeah.
Again, see, yeah. So so it's almost like you just have to get used to that there's just that you can't say what this is.
Yeah. But that's actually really nice.
It's nice.
I don't want to have something to say about it because then you have to protect what you think.
Yeah. It's just like I did not really pass on something to you here. It's something that's always here. You're just gonna like, okay, you know what? Well, look in between. You're
Yeah.
like, I can't find it. Look in between. It's right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a destination. It's not a figuring out. It's always here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, if you can go to the past and the future, then what's missing?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like,
It's almost like, you know what? The mind wants to work, but it's retired. It's irrelevant. Where
right.
did it get you?
Nowhere.
Yeah. It's like having an abusive friend, saying that always lying to you, right? And then you
Right.
believe the
Exactly.
lies. Yeah. Don't believe the lies,
Yeah.
man. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I do feel relief right now.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, like I can resonate a little bit with what I've heard in some other videos of thoughts kind of coming up and not landing anywhere right now.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yeah.
And I don't care about them coming up if they don't land anywhere, really.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of funny, right? In this space, this is where all of the great codes was probably made for computer, where all those
Right.
songs are written,
Yeah.
where,
I'm a musician too.
where Radiohead, Tom York
Yeah.
wrote this song, everything in its right place.
Yeah.
And this, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah. This
And
is
I
where I
resonate
speak
with
from.
that.
Yeah, this
I
is where
play
I speak from.
guitar. Yeah,
You
I
play
play
guitar.
guitar. And
Yeah. See?
that's part of my spiritual thing too, is like,
Yeah.
and I also like to play my drum, like a djembe kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'll just like, I notice when I'm really doing something, like I'm really getting into it, like I'm not doing it. Like I just know
Totally.
it. It's just
I
happening.
it's just, yeah, like, like I love playing the piano, right? So it's almost like I have to avoid it because, once I play and I'm like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then my fingers are hurting.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I have to get up at 5, get it there.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
love
that's
it.
great. Yeah, that's great that you love it that much.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
goes into this, like I used to, went, it's funny, I don't remember my piano education anymore, but I did go to the Royal Conservatory to do the
Really?
reading the thing, yeah, and that kind of
Wow.
stuff. And then,
That's cool.
but before, because it was forced, because it's always too technical, I'm not a technical person. I'm more
Yeah.
in the art kind of thing.
Okay.
Now I'm composing songs that I have no plans of releasing to anyone, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some contemporary classical pieces, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like cool. And then I'm adding some beats to it now. So it's, again, no interest. It's just beautiful, right? It's like, it's just, yeah. And there's
Yeah.
also this authenticity that there's an introvertedness here that doesn't want to be popular, that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, so it's going against the grain of what this should be, right? It's just the authenticity, and there's so much peace, man. So much peace. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
You feeling
feel
it?
like it right now. Yeah, I'm feeling it. My voice coming out sounds different right now.
Yeah, Ray does it. Right?
I've
It's like you're
experienced
hearing
that
yourself for the
before
first
too.
time, right?
Yeah, it's just coming out. Not even.
Yeah. Yeah, don't go to the past and the future because then you'll
No,
see the
yeah.
directness, right?
Yep.
Comparison is a thief of what can't be said, right? So
Right.
yeah.
Wait, can you say it one more time? Comparison, what was it?
Comparison is a thief of joy, basically, of what
Okay.
at this moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't try to go to the past, try to go to the future, kind of like saying that,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes so much more sense. Like being present. It's just like, what does that mean?
Well, there's no past or future, so that's not even being present. It's just
Exactly.
always this.
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like stuff.
Your
Yeah,
face
stuff
all of a
imagining
sudden,
things.
yeah, your face suddenly got softer.
Yeah.
See, you
Oh.
don't need psychedelics for this.
Right. Yeah. No, and I do find,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I just like, yeah, this is all I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, like just to like not need anything. Like,
Yeah.
the basic needs, but I don't think I really have to worry
Well,
about
you know what?
that.
Everything just runs automatically. It's almost like
Exactly.
it's like, you know
Yeah.
what? It's the same thing as like being blacked out. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
safer, right? You're,
Right.
coherent blackoutness, because everything is
Yeah.
running and everything in its right place, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely listen to that
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Um, Also, my wife might be booking a session with you. She's really interested in this.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So
For sure. I like it when couples kind of like click and they're like,
yeah.
yeah.
We talk about a lot of this stuff often. So
Yeah.
think about it. Oh my
Even the
God.
pitch of your voice is a bit different, huh? Do you notice it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't know. Well, even before, when I was trying to figure things out, like I had these thoughts. I'm like, I'm not how can I really think that I can drive a car? Like, I don't know like how to move my arms just right and all this stuff. I'm not doing the
Exactly.
mathematical equations. It's like
Yeah,
it's silly that I ever believed that I learned how to drive a car. Like
that's right.
me,
Yeah.
that you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Or even walking,
things
if
like
you
that.
look at it, it's just a
Yeah.
simple thing. Who's
And if you
walking
try
you?
to think about walking too hard, it actually gets a lot harder.
That's right. Yeah. It's just everything is just happening automatically, right? There's this
Right.
flow here, right? That is
Right.
also stillness at the same time, which doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
It's between stillness and
Yeah.
movement. Yeah.
Kind of like a screen as an analogy, maybe.
Yeah.
Like how like a screen's not moving, but the content is kind
Yeah.
of.
That's
I don't know.
overused.
That's also thinking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's overused.
Yeah. True. Obviously, you just heard that one. Yeah.
I like using that this is like a factory reset of a computer
Yeah.
without the virus. The virus is the thinking and the belief. And
Right.
then people think that by clicking on the belief, it just brings more belief, right?
Right.
So the
Try to
in
get rid of
between
it.
is like a pop-up blocker. So what's in
Yeah.
between thinking and not thinking, so it blocks it before it comes up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
eventually
I'm a
there's no more
computer guy,
virus, so
so
it's
that's
running
good.
it's running perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And even the thinking is happening automatically if it's
It
happening.
is.
Even if it says this isn't happening automatically.
Yeah. And this is funny, right? Um, even thinking that you're thinking is just a thought.
Even thinking you're thinking is just a thought. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Even time is just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to seek anymore.
Yeah. What's the seek, man? Come on.
I know. I'm making it up. I'm making it up 100%. It's really kind of it's crazy.
I was talking to this, super genius guy, and he's so prepared with his intellect and everything. You know what? He has
Mhm.
like a Mensa genius type of person, right? And
Yeah.
he was referred to another person. He was ready to battle it out with me intellectually,
Mhm.
and not even 5 minutes, man. And he just went.
That must
and
be
he
really cool.
and
Yeah.
then he basically said, "Intelligence is shit."
Yeah. Yeah. That's a belief that
It's a belief. Yeah.
it's
He
something.
goes. He goes.
Intelligence is a belief.
You know what he said? I remember now. I wish I can release it, but he's a figure. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Okay.
public figure, and he said that
Yeah.
I'm dumb as a rock, and it's okay.
That's awesome.
It
No, it
is,
must be so
yeah,
great to see people go through that. Even just watching these, like I
yeah,
enjoy it as just like the beauty of it.
yeah,
Like not even in a seeking sort of way, you
yeah,
know, like just seeing people wake up and the
yeah,
happiness is just really cool to watch.
yeah.
Like it's better than watching some reality show or
We were
something.
about to release this video, but he's a known person,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then yeah, and I'm like,
And so
no,
if
no, no.
anyone
I
types
said,
his name in,
yeah, I said, no, 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 don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. He goes, but it's a brilliant video because you got like someone that's so like a king to bow his head and lose his crown, that kind of thing, because he said my intelligence was the king of my existence. It was just
yeah,
his whole identity, right? Was that.
right.
Yeah,
Even to claim, even if I don't know, like I seems to be some intelligence in some sort of way to this and to
yeah,
the
yeah,
illusion, but to claim that as your own is a belief,
exactly.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. To claim that you
So
figured out something, you know what I'm saying, is
even to say that
ridiculous.
I figured it out,
Yeah, yeah.
instead of it being something that just happens,
That's why, you know what, I have a full-on kind of like, disclaimer. Like, it sounds like I figured something on, but that's just another thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
it's just another idea, right? So,
Yeah.
when
And
I
even the
call out
feeling of figuring it out could be an illusion.
yeah, when I call out that everything is BS, that includes me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm not excluding myself from that or knowing something better. But you
Yeah.
know what's funny though? Right now
Mhm.
that we're here, right? It's like it makes you wonder what other people are talking about when this is so clear.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Did he have a second of it? You know what I'm saying? Or a minute of it, and then
Right.
proclaim that it's all awareness, all that kind of stuff, or that it's just talking,
Yeah.
walking, happening. You know what I'm saying?
This is such a paradox to
It is
even,
such a paradox because it can't really be
yeah.
said.
Because even if there is, if you try to do it, you're out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
you just kind of have to just like let go and that's it.
yeah, yeah,
Whatever happens, happens.
yeah. That's right.
You
Yeah.
know, because I had these
Let go
ideas
of
that
letting
like,
go, letting go of letting
yeah,
go, between
yeah, yeah,
surrender and rejection. Right here it
mhm,
is.
mhm. Right. Let go of letting go.
Yeah, it's beautiful quietness though. Huh? There's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And it's like all these objects around me, they don't actually like seem like objects. If that makes sense.
yeah,
Like they have like the outlines of them seem very superficial.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's a belief to even call it an outline,
That's right. Yeah,
you
it's
know.
like, you know what? I don't know what I'm looking at, right? And
Right. I don't know what's happening.
I don't even know. I don't even know what looking is, right? So
I just don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, because I can't even say I don't know what's happening because I don't know if anything's happening.
I'm a factory reset, right? It's like a baby looking,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
and thinking is just like a hiccup.
Exactly. It's almost
Mhm.
like my whole life is a sneeze. It's like a
Yeah,
thought I had before. It's just one like involuntary movement.
yeah,
I
yeah,
had that thought before. Like my life is like a sneeze.
yeah, yeah,
But the clarity right now is better. Like
yeah.
my mind is squirmy, like you said. So I'll have these like with every like squirm, it's like, it's
Yeah,
like a squirm this way. I'm like having this clarity, and then a squirm that way, it's out. It's like this in and
yeah,
out.
yeah. But in between mine and no mine was there.
Yeah, mine's just a belief.
That's right.
I've been feeling like I don't have a
Even
mind.
squirmy is just a belief again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's already, the thought will always try to make a case for reality, right?
Yeah.
If you buy into it, you're trapped in this illusory reality again, right?
Yeah. It's like I'm on the outside of the bubble that
Yeah,
was the story.
yeah. But if you touch the bubble can engulf you again.
Yeah,
Right?
don't touch it.
Don't touch the bubble. It's like, like the pop-up, don't pop up that belief, you will become porn. It's like a whole
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
porn.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Just close it out.
Remember back in the days when there was like the AOL kind of like, um
Dial up.
when the dial-up, right?
Yeah,
Um and everything was slow motion. So like it will connect to the phone system,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and
Oh
then
yeah,
you're like 15, 16, and you're curious about porn. So you click
yeah,
on one and it opens like 20 windows. You're like, ah, and then you feel
yeah.
like worrying that your parents are gonna come. You're trying to close all of this
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah. They keep popping up. Oh yeah, yeah. That's what thoughts are kind of like
And then your computer is wrecked. And then your dad is like, what did you do with the computer? I'm like, nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were
yeah.
you trying to watch porn? I'm like, no, no,
No, it
no,
popped up. Yeah,
no. It just popped up out of nowhere. So I clicked on it and a whole bunch of
yeah,
porn came on. They're like,
yeah,
don't click on the porn, don't click on the virus because it's a
yeah,
Trojan, right?
yeah,
So the time is like a Trojan. If you click on it, boom, the past, the future again, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Like, how do I maintain this? That's just a future thought. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to maintain, really.
That's good.
Yeah. What's there
That's
to
good.
maintain? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You, the moment you buy into belief that there's something to maintain, you know, then you're trapped again in the
Hmm.
idea, right? But you know what?
Yeah,
Even if you trap momentarily, this always comes back
yeah.
because this is kind of like the natural flow, right?
Right. Yeah, and just having this experience of
Yeah.
being here is
Yeah.
valuable
Yeah.
for as a reference point,
Yeah.
as a non-reference reference point.
How you feeling? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really relaxed,
Yeah.
and I'm not thinking much at all right
Yeah.
now.
What's
Yeah,
thinking even?
I don't know. I don't know. It's I don't know. I mean, in a sense, I could call it form, but what's form? I don't even know. That's a thought. Yeah, yeah. It's an illusion. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like it's I feel like I had this thought when I was tripping one time, and it was like kind of like if you take one object and you like take some other thing and put it right on top of it, and then it's kind of like can like create an illusion. So it's like if you have like you look at it like a table, then you have like the thought of a table like on top of it,
Yeah.
but they're both not
Do you
that.
remember those
It's just
3D
a
things that when you look hard enough?
magic eye. Is that what
Magic
it is?
eye. This is like magic eye,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
my
So like,
wife's really into those actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
this
But I
puff
feel
is
like it's
like
like a
that. You're like,
reverse one, right? Would you say it's like a reverse magic eye?
it's a
Because I
reverse
think
magic eye. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that before, but I'm like I always felt like it was more like yeah, yeah,
It's a reverse magic eye. You're like,
yeah. It's like right
oh,
now I'm seeing the tiger or whatever
yeah, that's
because
right.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at this right, but it's like
Yeah.
the tiger's not really there.
Yeah.
It's a belief.
It's a belief. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's always the same. What are you without beliefs? What are you without that belief, right? Then it goes back into like, like it's almost like the etch a sketch, right? When you shake off that belief, it goes back into empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And beliefs are kind of like it's a web of beliefs, so it's
Yeah.
circular. It just
Yeah.
refers to itself. It never actually contexts this. I feel like.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm also thinking a lot right now. But I'm not. I'm not thinking. It's just
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Coming out.
Again, that's just you know what I'm saying? It's the past pretending it's the
Yeah.
present. There's really no present if you look at it. If there's no
Mhm.
past, there's no future, there's no present moment.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
just
Right.
words that we're trying to attach into trying to hold on to something that's permanently here.
Right. It's
Yeah.
always been the case,
Yeah.
and even that's a belief. But still,
That's a
that's
belief. Yeah.
that's been true so far.
Yeah.
What else could it be?
Yeah.
But nothing. Or not that's a belief. But no, well,
Yeah.
when I say I use the
Yeah.
word nothing a lot to describe
That's
this
okay.
stuff. But I don't mean nothing as a concept. But yeah. Just mean
Yeah.
like the void. I like the word void has become more like on point to me lately, like over
Yeah.
the past like couple weeks or so. I'm
Don't
like,
get
yeah,
caught
it's like
up.
a whole,
Yeah, don't get caught up in it though. Don't let be a landing.
Right.
That's
No. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
Because like I don't have the void anymore, you know.
Right. Right.
You just basically made, a new consciousness word or a new nothing being everything word by calling it void. So it's between void and
Right.
no void.
Right.
Yeah.
And from this perspective, that sounds silly
It
to
is,
get caught
yeah.
up in any word.
Yeah.
But I have
It's
done
like
that.
it's basically this is gonna like a domino. It's like a collapse, right? It's
Yeah.
collapse, 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 collapse. So you think of it, oh, right. So
Yeah.
it's almost like a never ending unfolding, right? It's almost like I always say this, it's like, getting kicked out of a plane and freaking out, and you realize that, oh, there's no landing, so there's no parachute.
Yeah, but yeah, and I feel like I freaked out so much in the past about this stuff that
Yeah.
right now I'm not freaking out.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
just relax. Like I've been through like it was hard to let go of some of the beliefs.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go crazy. I didn't want
Yeah.
to be not the person that like certain
I
people expected me to be or whatever, you know.
I DJ'd at like a small festival, and then I was walking around and looked at a whole bunch of faces. I'm like, did you just do DMT? They're just like this.
What festival was it?
It's what's it called again? I can't remember.
The Buddha Fest one you were talking about before?
No, 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 no. I can't remember. Oh my goodness. See, my memory is so bad.
Yeah.
But it's just a small one. You know what I'm saying? Not a
Yeah,
massive
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah. I did some festivals before. I loved it. It's
What are the
awesome.
good the ba- have you been to Canada?
I'm actually going to Quebec. I'm supposed to be going in
Is it the
September.
Valhalla?
No, I'm just going for me and my wife's honeymoon. We're going to Quebec City.
Oh, when are you going?
September 19th.
Okay, no, I can't. Where
Yeah.
you're close to Quebec then, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Massachusetts. I'm near Boston.
Yeah.
So I'm not
So,
super far. I think it's like 5.5,
oh, you
six
guys have
hours.
lobster there. Really, really good lobster in Boston,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. A lot of seafood. It's so funny.
I love lobster, right? So
Oh my God, I feel so
I
good right now. It's awesome.
that's good. That's good,
Yeah,
man.
I just like I'm not worried about anything. I'm not
Yeah.
like trying to
Yeah. See, you're still functioning.
yeah, but I'm not. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. You can't really say much about this, right? It's almost like you go into speechlessness. And
I don't want to say anything about it. I don't want to say anything about anything. But
yeah,
I'm talking right now, but I'm not saying anything about
that's
anything.
right. Yeah.
Because there's no intention to say something about something. I'm just like it's more of a
Yeah.
communion than a communication.
It is, yeah.
You know, like it's not like I don't need to get something across. I'm just like
Yeah.
vibing.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're let's talk about lobsters. Did you have your
Yeah.
lobster feast this year so far?
So I don't like lobster.
You don't like lobster?
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I guess it
Does your
reminds me
wife
of
like lobster?
not really, not
Not
really.
really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
I used to go to Moncton, New Brunswick, right? Which is near you
yeah,
guys over
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I would rent a summer, cottage.
Hmm.
Not for the summer, not for the cottage, for the lobster.
Yeah,
So I can eat it every day.
yeah. No, I mean that's great. I wish I loved it as much as you did.
I love food though. I love food.
Yeah,
And then right after that, I went vegan.
yeah,
But you know what? Since I love food, I even love the vegan food. Like but now there's just whatever shows up at my table, I eat.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I love eating. So
So, you've been DJing? I gotta check out your DJ stuff. I want to check that out. I love music. Like that's one of my biggest passions. I'm
oh, so you
always
have a record collection. What's your best record that you have?
oh,
Vinyl.
it's hard to say. I mean, got some. I listen to a lot of weird stuff too, like Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart and stuff
Oh, I
like
like Frank
that.
Zappa. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
get some cool Frank Zappa records, and
Well, I was born in
yeah,
1971, so when I was two
I know
years
you look
old.
very young. It was hard for
Oh,
me to
thank you.
believe that. Yeah, honestly,
Thank you.
yeah, it was hard for me. I'm 35, so
When when I was
yeah,
when I
okay,
was
yeah.
when I was born, my first toy was a record player. And then
Yeah.
my grandpa had a record store,
Yeah. Oh,
and
cool.
then he would sit and basically would ask me to grab him a case of beer
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock because he's finished work. My dad hates me telling
Yeah.
this story because he goes, your grandpa's not an alcoholic. I'm like, no judgment, right? But you know what? So
Yeah.
he would so would sit there in, summers, and he would open up a box of records, and I would play
Yeah.
it one by one.
That's
So I was the
awesome.
DJ for him when I was like a little, right? And once in a while I'll be like, do you want to sip
Yeah.
of this beer? I'm like, yeah, and
Yeah. Hell yeah.
so
This is the records.
yeah, that was my
That's awesome.
my best, memory with my grandpa was that he would turn, these were Asian, right? So he would turn like red from his chest up. He's wearing this, white beater, right? And he would tell me, he would just, not say anything, just enjoy the music. And then
Yeah.
here I am really, really enjoying that music, right? And
Yeah.
and then I would turn the, the vinyl to the next side,
Yeah.
and then so I was his personal DJ. And then
So
towards the end,
you
I
really
had my
did start as a
favorites.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I started. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was just playing all of
Yeah.
these tracks. So we didn't even know it's like a mystery box, right? So there will be like,
Yeah.
disco there, like Bee Gees and
Nice.
Led Zeppelin, and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think my favorite song at that time when I was a kid was Superstition
Oh, I
by
love
Stevie
Stevie Wonder.
Wonder.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah.
great track, right?
So good. Oh yeah.
And
I still put that on once in a while nowadays.
so when I was like a little 2-year old, like the people would try to buy a record. They were fascinated that I knew music at a very young age, like at 2 years old. My mom said that
Yeah.
I talked right away, right? So I'm like, Superstition,
Really.
it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they thought it was like a boy genius or something.
Ah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, you're
And
clearly intelligent, you know.
oh, kind of
I
like
don't know.
what
I
that
mean,
guy said. It's so overrated. There's
right,
so
right.
much, so much, so much peace with not knowing anything.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, music. Oh my goodness. So every time that I would feel stressed, I would just put on music, right? So of course, during my suffering of seeking, that
Mm.
was it. You know what? I would DJ for a couple of hours and I would feel at ease. And then all of a sudden it clicked and I could not find Emerson. It's just a thought. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So what else is in your collection? You have to get
Uh,
the Radiohead
yeah,
okay, not okay. So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like with all of the cuts, like some of the cuts from um
Oh,
um
okay.
are actually, some of the cuts are actually like should be singles. It's so fascinating. It's like they have like
Yeah,
20 extra, no, 10, 15 extra tracks, and it's like, what the hell?
that's cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love those like rare album, like rarities or
yeah,
whatever that they put on there.
yeah.
Um,
They could
I
have
like a lot
released
of
a
stuff.
new album, you know what I'm saying? Because they probably come up with like 40 songs or whatever, and they pick the 15 songs that the record producers want you to release,
Mhm.
basically, right? So
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I like a lot of jazz stuff, funk. Um, I like the band Ween a lot. I don't know if you ever heard of Ween.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I'm a big Ween fan. I have some of their records,
yeah.
all kinds of
I
stuff.
love what do I love? I love those obscure Lee Scratch Perry
Oh, he's
ska.
great. Yeah, I don't know a lot of his stuff, but I really like him, like his
It's so
style.
he's so insane that it's genius, right? Like just
Yeah,
like,
I love eccentric
oh my
musicians.
goodness, it's
Yeah,
like the dubs that they have, like those,
yeah,
you know, oh my goodness, it's just
yeah.
wild, right? So I
One
used
of
to
my
do,
best friends. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
I used to DJ vinyl, right? So I would DJ,
yes, that's
and
what I was gonna say. Yeah, yeah,
a lot of those dub stuff, you know what I'm saying, and some
yeah,
ska and some reggae, and oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my friend does he scratches with vinyl. He does it
Yeah.
once a month at a place. So I was
Yeah.
gonna go on Thursday, but I didn't get to go. But
Yeah.
I love that. So cool. He
Yeah.
collects
It's
records too. We're both like wicked into it, but he scratches them, so it's a little different.
yeah, scratching is just quite fun, right? It's kind of like battle DJ style and everything, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And I feel like it's kind of meta, like a meta style to music, because you're kind of like taking these two different styles and like putting them together on like a meta level, kind of.
oh yeah, yeah, it's beautiful.
You
I
know?
love
Yeah.
DJing, and I
Yeah.
love that. I love um I love that because of my love of music, even the current music I appreciate. Like
Hmm.
people are like, like my brothers would be like, oh, the music is not the same as it was back
Yeah,
in the
right.
80s. I'm like, well, that's
Yeah,
according to you, you know?
yeah. And that's a
And
common
people, oh,
rhetoric too, you
it
know.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad said, he goes, oh, your music is not the same as back in the 40s, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whenever I notice a rhetoric like that, I try to like do the opposite. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, there's some sort of pattern going on here. Like,
It is,
I don't
yeah,
want to be
yeah,
doing that. Yeah.
yeah.
When I get that age.
But yeah, you know what? I had a rich history of music. Like, I listened to punk, I listened to
Hmm.
ska, I listened to new wave,
Hmm.
I listened to
Hmm.
down tempo and so many great stuff, right? Growing up, we had
Yeah.
like the Clash and the
Yeah.
Sex Pistols, Dead
Oh yeah, I
Kennedys,
love that stuff.
and
Yeah.
then we had like Violent Femmes, and we had
Hmm.
um some of the British invasion that came, like the Charlatans and the Stone Roses, and wow, you know what I'm saying? It was just such a rich history in music. And
Yeah.
then my when I woke up into music, when I started collecting, was 1983 and 1984, which is
Wow.
considered the pop, like the pop golden age, basically, in the
Hmm.
80s anyway,
Hmm.
right? That's when Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince, Cyndi Lauper,
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen all came out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what a brilliant, couple of years of music, right? And
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
it's equivalent to when they had those, songs from the Motown, when Motown came, right?
Yeah, I love that stuff too. I love
Oh,
everything.
yeah. So
Have
there's
you ever
always
heard
a
of the
golden
band?
era. There's always a golden era. Even, it's kind of funny
Right.
because in the 90s, I was more into the grunge, like
Yeah.
more into like, Nirvana,
Yeah.
and I saw Nirvana before they became famous, which is
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
I saw them at Lee's Palace, right? Before the Nevermind album came out. And
Yeah.
it was just, Kurt Cobain was right there basically. And beautiful, and during that time, I hated the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all those things.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
ruined pop. But now I look back, I'm like, you know what? They're quite catchy now.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I take that stuff a little less serious now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just like, because I'm not at that age where I'm trying to
Like I
fit
was
in
like,
and stuff.
oh,
Yeah,
what, pop songs and everything. I was like the
yeah,
grunge, character,
yeah, yeah,
it's Smashing Pumpkins and Pearl Jam and all that kind of stuff, right?
yeah.
Soundgarden,
Soundgarden.
Metallica.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Rage Against the Machine.
yeah. Rage
That's
Against
not
the
really
Machine,
grunge, but okay,
Nitzer
yeah,
Ebb, all of those
yeah,
bands, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Have you heard of the
beautiful.
band The Books?
Yes,
They're so good. I just started listening to them. I'm like, oh, I love this.
yeah.
Really creative, good sampling, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, love that thing.
There's I even like this there's I listened this morning. There's this guy. Cameron, his name ends with a dollar sign at the end. He's a rapper. He considers himself Gen Z's Eminem. And
Oh, really?
there's a song called It Boy. And I love
Called
the
what?
swagger, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
oh yeah, yeah.
I'm the It Boy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what? Yeah. Rip it with swag.
And it's with a kind of like a really, like a really good kind of like progressive bass house background. And I'm
Yeah,
like, wow, that's so cool. Like imagine like an Eminem doing kind of like a house track. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
With like bass, kind of like with that boom, 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 like that bass stuff. Yeah.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
different than what he's ever done before.
Hmm. So yeah,
So
I love music. That's what I
yeah,
do.
that's probably one of my number one favorite things.
Yeah. Because like you know what I'm saying, I'm also kind of like a bit of a seeker in my mind, right? So it's like nonstop,
Mhm.
before. But now
Mhm.
it's been quite a while, and I'm like, I have so much energy because I'm not thinking anymore.
Yeah, even with music, I was a seeker.
Oh, were you?
When I was younger, I used to just constantly download songs, research different bands,
Oh,
like
me too, me
hours,
too,
hours. Yeah,
me too, me too. I
yeah.
used to yeah, nonstop, nonstop. Napster, remember Napster?
Yeah, LimeWire. I use LimeWire a lot.
LimeWire, yeah. So I would
That
have
was after Napster. I
like
think
a
I got
hundred
into it
songs
after.
downloading on the side. I'm like, oh, I have a new
Yeah,
single of
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, don't get a virus.
But there was always something that I love about the analog sound, even because that's kind of like what opened my awakening to music was analog sound, with like the record.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so the DJing was an extension of that, because DJing in
Yeah.
the beginning, when DJs actually, I sound like an old man now, when DJs actually beat matched,
Mm,
when they listen to the songs, not like just pressing sync. You know what I'm saying? Right now, most DJs are just pressing sync and everything just syncs together. But I
exactly.
love that that happened, because there's more creativity now in
Yeah.
comparison to people just focusing on what beat to match, right? So
Right. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. I feel like people sometimes they don't like it when people do things that are too easy, like with music. I'm like,
yeah, yeah,
it's not always about like the idea of what you want is
yeah,
is the creativity, and then the playing it's the skill. Like you don't have to have like you don't have to know how to play a guitar or
yeah,
something to be able to be creative and put sounds together in a way that's
yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
When I play vinyl, I have a whole bunch of kids that are like wide-eyed open. They're like, "Oh, here's a dinosaur DJ
Yeah,
playing.
yeah,
Look
yeah. It's
at."
special though. It sticks out. Yeah,
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, that's so cool." They're like, "How'd you do that?" Like some
yeah,
DJs. I'm like, "Oh, you listen for the beat. You count.
yeah. Right,
It
right.
has it has 4 and 8 and 16 beats. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it just keeps on
it syncs
repeating, and
up.
you match that. It's kind of funny.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
because a lot of DJs, well, you know what? I love the new DJs though. They've just gotten so creative that they
Yeah,
have 4 decks. There's this guy named James Hype.
yeah.
He's just like he's like turning his back, and he's just having so much fun. He's a producer, and look him up. It's almost like it's like
What's his name?
some James Hype.
Okay.
He's from London. He's a
Yeah.
young guy, right? So it's like it reminds me of those when Prince plays the guitar. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and
He's
and you're
awesome. I
like,
love Prince.
when Eric
Yeah.
Clapton got asked how does it feel to be the greatest, guitar player? And you know what he said? Go ask Prince.
That's funny. No, he is one of the best
Have you
guitar players
seen some
ever.
of the stuff that he did? Like,
Yeah.
there was this like, I think he was with a whole bunch of musicians, and he just not really showing up, but he's just a genius, right? In musical playing. And I played the guitar, but not as good, what I'm saying, as
Yeah, it takes
playing
a lot. It
piano.
takes a lot of practice.
Oh my goodness. I
It
know
took
the
me a while to
chords.
get to a certain level that I felt happy with, took years.
Yeah. You know what? Of course, back in the 90s, everyone had a dream of kind of like being a singer, songwriter. I
Yeah, 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 yeah.
think I even auditioned to a grunge band, they didn't pick me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we would go to open mics before in the 90s, right? So you would
Yep.
play your Bob Marley songs and your Bob Dylan songs. And
Yeah, I did a lot of
yeah.
open mics.
Yeah. Did you do that
I
too?
love doing that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hosted one for a little while at a bar.
Yeah. And then later on, I discovered karaoke, and I'm like, I don't know how to play guitar. I can just sing with karaoke.
Yeah.
Well, we've always
Karaoke's
done
fun.
karaoke, but drinking and karaoke at one point, like, and I started singing all of the power ballads from the 90s,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
because
Me and my
my
wife
voice
like
has
to
a
do
higher range. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I've noticed when you sing a little bit and some of when you do everything right. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, yeah. Me and my wife been doing karaoke at home. We put it on the computer with a little guitar amp and microphone.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like a couple friends come over and love doing it, so it's fun.
So good. So good.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
Sing some Celine Dion songs is pretty good for
That's what I was
karaoke.
gonna say to you. We sing Celine Dion together all the time. What is it? There's one big ballad. Here, 1 second. Katie, what's that? What's that Celine Dion song we always sing? My wife just came in from grocery shopping. Um, all coming back to me now. Oh, all coming back to me now.
That's my favorite Celine Dion
Yeah.
song. One time there was, you know, someone basically, it's like, another guy came in and we're both singing the song. And then it was just so funny because if you listen to the lyrics, right, it's actually the songwriter was writing about it. It's probably ruin it for you. It's almost kind of like necrophilia.
Oh shit. Oh, that sounds like typo negative. Do you know typo negative?
No,
You're
no, I
listening
don't.
there? Oh, they're cool.
Yeah.
I would suggest my wife showed me them. They're kind of like it's like kind of metal, gothy kind of sound, but it's like very melodic and like kind of
What's
like
it called again?
beautiful. Typo negative.
Typo negative. Okay. I'll look it
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'll look
yeah.
it up.
There's
Yeah.
a song. It's like loving you is like loving the dead. You keep singing that, and there's like this one part. He's like loving you is like fucking the dead. It's just like looking fucked up. We just laugh at him. Yeah. Anyway.
So you're
But
feeling good, huh? That's good. How are you doing?
yeah, I guess one question I had is it normal that it's not like this big like pop that you
No,
feel
no,
or
because
you
it's trying
see?
to go to the next again, right?
That's what I
It's
thought.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you know what? When people are talking about this, it's like they're talking about an orgasm, right? So,
Yeah.
don't buy that. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah. No,
because
no,
they're not
because it
even having
doesn't.
that at that moment, right? So it's just it's
That's a thought that came up. That's just
yeah,
a doubt or a
yeah.
thought or nothing.
They're talking about fireworks. You know what I'm saying? Well, they have to sell what they're talking about, and even myself. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? When if you look some of the intros, it's like I get passionate about it though, right? It's like it's
Mhm.
in the moment expression of something that cannot be expressed, which is such a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, I
the
agree.
the mind is always trying to go to the next when there's no next. Where's the
Mhm.
fireworks? The fireworks is that there's no fireworks.
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like,
Exactly.
oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You don't
I
want to
guess
be
I did that.
chasing for fireworks. It's like, what if it's just all fireworks? Then you would probably end up in a psychiatric ward where you're like,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
know.
I like that. I like your sense of humor. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
But yeah, you know what? Again, you know what? The mind will try to make a case for itself, but there's no
Mhm.
mind.
Yeah. I mean,
So it
that's
will
just.
always try to create a future. How do I
Mhm.
maintain this? Or the past that I've, all that kind of stuff, comparing. And of course you start hearing some of the teachers and the speakers, they're coming from a place of just it's just all words, is what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
All
Mhm.
words, all made up.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense. That resonates. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know if I even would want that a big pop fireworks. Like I'm just feeling
No.
calm. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just so nice and relaxing, right? It's just like there's no worries now.
yeah,
Yeah. And again, if you're not thinking, it's always like this.
right,
You just caught up in the thinking, you know what I'm saying? But there's not even thinking happening.
right. Yeah, it's similar to when I meditate. Sometimes I get this just peaceful
Yeah.
nothingness, and it's like that is the
Yeah.
background of my experience right
Hmm.
now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's just like even if I'm thinking, I have
Yeah.
that background of calm, silence.
Yes, it's always been over. It's always been this way. You know what I'm saying? If you look at it, there's it's almost like you're always overlooking this because the
Yes,
thinking is trying to go to the past or future.
right.
It's not over for the character because there's no character to be over with. So we'll try
Mhm.
to create a narrative. Is it over? That's irrelevant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you see that you can't even go to the past or the future, right? So if you can get to the future, then it's always this. Everything in its right place. But I'm going to
Yeah.
stop the recording. I'm going to